New details about the brazen attack of two Red Rock employees. An arrest report says police believe that the stabbing was, quote, unprovoked. 25-year-old Shane Sussman is accused of stabbing two workers before he was shot by security early Saturday morning. When police say when they arrived, the security had Sussman trying to enter a closed restaurant, and he appeared to be under the influence. One of the guards grabbed him from behind, and Sussman swung a knife backwards, almost hitting the guard in the head. That guard stepped back and Sussman was shot. He now faces multiple attempted murder and battery charges. He didn't appear in court today because he is still in the hospital. His court hearing was rescheduled for Monday.